So are you also still writing articles manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to automatically create knowledge-based articles using an AI agent. So over here I also used to write articles manually, but this is such a time-consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the topic into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the article which I can further post on my WordPress account. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then WordPress. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use an AI agent to turn support frequently asked questions or help desk data into a detailed knowledge-based articles like this. By feeding the structured input in Google Sheets, the AI draft helpful content that can be published directly to your help center, saving you time and improving the customer self-service. So let's get your knowledge base up and running within ease. And to get started, I'm simply going to show you a really simple example. I'm just going to enter the issue summary, the feature, the article title, and the steps overview. And now using these same details only, a new article will be generated and posted on our WordPress account. So I'm simply going to refresh this WordPress account and check for the new article. Alright, so we're going to refresh this WordPress account right from here. And as soon as we're going to refresh this, yes, you can see a new article has been posted which says how to integrate Slack with your account. So I'm just going to go towards this view right over here, and as you can see, her whole article with the same steps has been added right over here in our WordPress account. So yes, you can see that this is the power of the automation which we are going to create in today's video. This is no magic, this is the automation which we are going to create in today's video, that within seconds in real time the article has been generated and posted on my WordPress account, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to add a new tab, and we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because I want to connect different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to automatically create knowledge-based articles using an AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for it and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL, so we're going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to follow this help text. So for that, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and after opening my spreadsheet, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here. And as soon as we're going to search for it, we're just going to select it. And as you can see that I have already installed this extension. But if you haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here. And once you're going to install this extension, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet. Otherwise, what is going to happen is that you're not going to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, we have to go towards this and then towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. Alright, so for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is D. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the details in this D column, then only this whole row details would be sent towards my webhook URL. So that is the reason I kept my trigger column as D. You have to keep your trigger column according to your spreadsheet. And after entering both of these details, we are simply going to click on this button which says submit, and noticing setup configured successfully, and with this we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and after coming over here we have to go towards this extensions Pabbly Connect webhooks, and then we simply have to switch on this button which is send on event. It is a really important step to switch on this button which is send on event, because now what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in this spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. So as you can see that I've simply switched on this button. Now we're going to move on further and do the test submission. I'm simply going to enter the issue summary right over here, the feature, the article title, and we're going to move on further and enter the steps overview right over here. And after entering all of these details, what has happened is that with this we have successfully completed our test submission, and now these details have been sent towards my webhook URL. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see the steps overviewed. Over here you can see the issue summary, the feature, and the article title. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this step, which is our trigger step. And now what is going to happen is that whenever we are going to get a new row right over here in this spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. Now we're going to move on further. I want to automatically create knowledge based articles using an AI agent. So for my action step, I'm simply going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm simply going to search for OpenAI right over here, and then we are going to simply select it right from here. And now it is asking me for the action event. So I'm simply going to select my action event as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to give this a token. So it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key which you need to enter here. So I want to get the API key. For that I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page. Alright, so I'm simply going to click on this API key page, and now over here you can see all the API key which I've already created, but I'm just going to create a new. For that I'm simply going to click on this create new secret key, and now it is asking me for the name of the key. So I'm simply going to enter the name of my key right over here, which is articles. So I'm simply going to enter the name of the key, which is articles right over here. And after entering this name of the key, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this green button which says create secret key, and now I'm simply going to create my secret key, and now I'm just going to copy this key and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select the AI model as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And now as you can see that I've simply entered the prompt which says write a complete knowledge based article on the following input from the sheet. Alright, so I'm just going to give these details. So over here for the details, I'm simply going to give all of these details one by one. But we are not going to enter the details manually by typing it like this, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so what we're going to do is first I'm simply going to map the issue summary. We're going to move in forward and then I'm just going to map the feature right over here. Once I'm just going to map the feature, I'm just going to map the steps overview and then I'm just going to map the article title. Now after mapping all of these details, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And now my AI agent is going to generate me the body of the article in 1000 words. So we just have to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is generating me the body of the article. And we don't have to do anything. We just have to wait for a few seconds till it is generating. And yes, my AI agent has successfully generated me the body of the article. Over here, you can see the body of the article which my AI agent has generated. So now I'm just going to use this same body in order to create a WordPress post. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as WordPress. So I'm just going to search for WordPress and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a post and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your WordPress account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me and click on add a new connection. Now it is asking me for the WordPress email and the password and also the base URL. So I'm simply going to enter all of these details right over here. I'm just going to enter the email right over here. Then I'm just going to enter the password, which is my account credentials. You also have to enter these details. And now it is asking me for the base URL. And to get this base URL, it is saying, please provide your complete publicly accessible WordPress URL, including HTTP or HTTPS. Alright, so I'm just going to open my WordPress account. And over here, I'm just going to copy this URL. And then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. But we only have to provide the base URL. So I'm simply going to erase all of this, which is after this VP3. So as you can see, you have to also provide only the base URL. You don't have to include this login or any another detail. If you want to learn more, you can refer to this source which we have attached right over here. And after adding this base URL, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our WordPress account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And once we're going to click on this button right over here which says save, with this we have successfully connected our WordPress account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the post type. So I'm simply going to select it as post only. It is asking me to select the post title. So I'm simply going to select the post title right over here, which was this. I'm just going to look for it in the previous response and map it. Now I'm just going to map the post content to right over here. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for many other details. So we're only going to fill in the details which are required, like the status. I'm just going to keep the status as published right over here. You can select it as draft, future, pending or private too. And now it is asking me for the category ID. So you can select the same if you wish. Same goes for the tags. And now it is asking me for the featured media ID. So over here, if you wish, you can definitely add a media in your article. But I don't wish to add. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to switch on this mapping button and erase this media ID right from here and leave this field as blank because I don't want to add any media in my article. So that's why I've done this. All right. So I'm simply going to make this field as blank right over here. And after doing this, it is going to ask me for many another details too. So I'm just going to keep all of these details as same only because all of these details are not the required details. And now I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully posted a post on our WordPress account. So I'm simply going to open my WordPress account and check for the post posted. For that, I'm just going to open my WordPress account. And and go towards the dashboard of my WordPress account. And now after coming over here towards the dashboard of my WordPress account, we are simply going to go towards this pages from the left side of the bar. And after coming over here towards the pages from the left side of the bar, over here you can see a new post has been posted. So I'm simply going to open this post right from here. For that, I'm just going to go towards this view. And now you can see the post has been posted on my WordPress account with the same content generated with the help of our AI agent. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now, like I showed you in the starting of this video, as soon as I'm just going to add the details right over here, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the knowledge base articles, and further we can post it on our WordPress account, that too without any manual efforts. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this video and this workflow too. And now if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.